Gururdevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. In our last session, we had seen up to the 21st shloka. There, after announcing the readiness to fight, both the armies, that is the Pandava army and that of Dhartarashtra, were ready to start the battle. They were about to use the weapons. Pravrutte Shastra Sampate. It was then that Arjuna asked his driver. Sri Krishna is not a guru here. Now he is not a teacher. He is the driver of Arjuna. So he asked Sri Krishna, "Oh Krishna, you take my chariot to the middle of both the armies and you stop it there. And you must keep my chariot there till I observe fully those who are standing to fight." That is the shloka. Senayoru bhayor madhye ratham sthapayamechyuta yavateta niriksheham yodhukamanavasthitan kairmaya sahayodhavyam asmin rana samudyame yotsyamananaveksheham ya etetra samagataha. O Achyuta, you stop my chariot in the middle of both the armies and let me see both the armies very well. So I can see both the armies when you stop it in the middle. So let me see them. Yodhu kamana vasthita. Those who are standing, desirous of fighting. Yodhu kaman. Yodhu kamaha is one who is desirous of fighting. So let me see them. So many Kshatriyas have assembled here and are arrayed in different orders to fight. So who are they? Let me see them all. Kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin rana samudyame. In this auspicious battle, with whom shall I fight? Let me see them. So until that, you stop my vehicle, you stop my chariot in the middle of both the armies. Yotshyamanan avekshe aham ya ete atra samagataha. Yotshyamanan aham avekshe. That means let me see those who are readily waiting to fight. Yotshyamanan, those who are waiting to fight. Tan avekshe aham, let me see them. Let me see them. Ya ete atra samagataha. Atra means here. Ye, those who samagataha has arrived. So let me see all of them who have arrived here just to fight. So in a battle in those days, so battle will be declared or is either to be fought. And then both the parties concerned will go here and there in search of Kshatriyas. And they will approach kings of different countries, kingdoms. And when a Kshatriya asks for soldiers, kings of different kingdoms will offer certain number of soldiers. You can take this much number of soldiers with you. And both the armies have amassed that much number of soldiers and all are ready here. So let me see them. Yotsyamanana aham avekshe. Let me see them. Ya ete atra samagataha. Atra samagataha. Those who have come and assembled here. Let me see them all. Then Arjuna says, Dharta rashtrasya durbuddhe yuddhe priya chikirsavaha. Dharta rashtrasya durbuddhe yuddhe priya chikirsavaha. Dharta rashtrasya, of the Dharta Rashtras. Dharta Rashtra is son of Dhritarashtra. So Dharta Rashtraha is the plural. Here it is singular. So Dharta Rashtrasya durbuddhehe. So by the usage of singular, what is meant here? Arjuna is saying Dhartarashtras are 100 in number, 100 in number. But even then, this battle and all the things, whatever happened in our family, all are because of one person. That is Duryodhana. So this battle, even that is a product of the ill will of Duryodhana. He is responsible for all this. All Dhartarashtras are fighting. They are readily waiting to fight. That is true. But at the same time, Duryodhana is responsible for all this. It is the ill will of Duryodhana that led to that battle. So Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe. Durbuddhi means one with bad thoughts, ill will, whose decisions are always against morality and dharma. he is durbuddhi. One whose behavior is opposed by knowers or scholars, or is against the teachings of Shastras, he is durbuddhi. One who is always acting as per the injunctions of our Shastras and the teachings of Gurus, he is subuddhi, sadbuddhi, subuddhi. Whereas durbuddhi is one who is acting always against the teachings of acharyas and against dharma. Duryodhana is such a man. So he is durbuddhi. So durbuddhehe, by the use of singular, Duryodhana is meant. And Sanjaya is repeating that for Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya could have avoided repeating that, but he repeated. See? So what is implied is, all these are happening. This havoc is happening only because of Duryodhana. And there are many soldiers, fighters, who are here to help Duryodhana. They are Priya Chikirsavaha. Priya Chikirshu means one who is desiring to help somebody else. So desirous of helping somebody is Priya Chikirshu. So those who are waiting here to fight are helping Duryodhana. Let me see them all. Who are there? In both the sides. And after observing, I will start fighting. This is the word of Arjuna. Here, we have to note two words. One, Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe. Arjuna is considering Duryodhana as a durbuddhi, man of ill will. Then he is considering the battle as most auspicious thing. Yuddha samudhyamam. Samudhyamam. Rana samudhyamam. So he is saying this battle is a samudhyamam. It is auspicious for a kshatriya. Why and how it is auspicious? It is to prove dharma, to have the victory of dharma. For that, kshatriyas are fighting. So, even now, Arjuna is a perfect kshatriya. That is the point to be noted. Let me repeat once more. Even now, at this point of time, Arjuna is a perfect kshatriya. And what happens to Arjuna? that we have to see. So we have to move along with Arjuna to find out the changes happening in Arjuna, and it will help to understand the mental state of the Shishya, the disciple, and thereby we can connect that situation with our own life. When we connect so, we will stand in the place of Arjuna. Then the teachings of Bhagavan will directly come to us. Then it will become a conversation between Bhagavan and that man. The place of Arjuna, we will sit. Then we will realize Bhagavan is teaching directly to me. I am the student and Bhagavan is the teacher. It's a direct conversation. Then only it will penetrate into our heart directly. So for that, we have to walk with Arjuna and realize why and how changes happened in him. What was his real problem? So we have to note this much. Even now at this point of time, Arjuna is a perfect Kshatriya. He is ready to fight. Even after seeing that huge army, he is ready to fight. And he is observing the battle as auspicious. And he is seeing Duryodhana as Durbuddhi. And he is ready to fight. Dhanurudyamya Pandavaha. Dhanurudyamya Pandavaha. He is ready to fight. So all these 3 points we have to note. 1, even now Arjuna is ready to fight. Dhanurudyamya Pandava. 2, he is taking the battle as auspicious. Rana Samudyame. And 3, even now he is considering Duryodhana as Durbuddhi. And therefore, even now at this point of time, Arjuna is a perfect Kshatriya. Now let us go with him and observe what changes are happening. See? Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Mukto Hrishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam Bhishmadrona Pramukhata Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pasyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Mukto Hrishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam Bhishmadrona Pramukhata Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pasyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Now we are going to see the turning point in the life of Arjuna. And of course, Arjuna is our own replica. And how many turning points are coming in our life. How positively they are working or how negatively they are acting. We have to see that. Before going to details, let us see the breakings of words. Evam uktaha Hrishikeshaha Gudakeshena Bharata Senayoho Ubhayoho Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam Bhishmadrona Pramukhataha Sarvesham Cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pasya Etan Samavetan Kurun Iti. O Bharata, Sanjaya is calling Dhritarashtra. O Dhritarashtra, O descendant of Bharata clan, O Dhritarashtra, you hear, Evam Uktaha Hrishikeshaha. Evam, thus, Uktaha, spoken, Hrishikeshaha, Sri Krishna. You have seen that word even before. Verbal meaning is controller of one's own senses. So one who is controlling his own senses of cognition, is Hrishikeshaha. Gudakeshena, by Gudakesha. Gudakeshena means by Gudakesha. Gudakesha is one who is controlling his own slumber, one who is controlling sleep, whose sleep is perfectly under control. He is Gudakesha. Ubhayoho Senayoho Madhye, in the middle of two armies. Here we can say, in the middle of both the armies. Ubhayoho Senayoho Madhye Sthapayitva, after stopping or parking. Rathottamam, great chariot. Great chariot. Bhishma Drona Pramukhataha, in front of Bhishma and Drona. Sarveshancha Mahikshita, and all other kings, in front of all other kings. Uvacha, said, O Partha, O Arjuna, Pasya, behold, you look, Etan, these men, Etan, these men, Kurun, men of Kuruvamsha, iti, thus. So, here, Arjuna asked Sri Krishna to take his chariot to the middle of both the armies. And Arjuna even directed Sri Krishna that he must stop the vehicle until Arjuna observe both the armies very well. So Arjuna wants to see both the armies, who are there to fight. So till that observation is finished, Sri Krishna has to stop the vehicle. It is the order of Arjuna. It is the order of Arjuna. So thus, asked by Arjuna, Sri Krishna did so. As per the sayings of Arjuna, Sri Krishna took the chariot to the middle and stopped there. But see, Kurukshetra, that battlefield is a huge battlefield, having 64 kilometers length and 64 kilometers breadth. Sri Krishna could have taken that chariot to whichever spot he wanted. But see, where did Krishna stop that? In front of Bhishma and Drona. Bhishma Drona Pramukhataha. And in front of important kings. There are many, many kings there. But Sri Krishna took the vehicle to the front of Bhishma and Drona and such other kings. Whose presence itself is important. Not only that, he asked Arjuna, "O Arjuna, behold, all are Kurus. All these are men of your own family. What was the prayer of Arjuna? Or what was the order of Arjuna? To take the chariot to the middle of both the armies so that I can see my enemies with whom I have to fight. This is a field for fighting. And I am ready to fight. I want to see the opponents. With whom shall I fight? So take my vehicle and park it in the middle. This was the saying and intention of Arjuna. But Sri Krishna, what he did? He took the chariot and he stopped the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona, the Acharya and the Pitamaha. And in front of other kings, whose very sight will bring out inner feelings of Arjuna. Oh, this is Bhishma, the eldest of our family. He only protected us. He only protected us. He arranged for our studies. He was always awake for our betterment here. He looked after us. He is one to be worshipped, not only to be loved, but to be worshipped also. Such a great man, Bhishma. And see the other, he is Drona, the Acharya. I am a soldier, I am a fighter only because of him. He only taught me the warfare. I am very famous now in the world as a great warrior. But it is because of him. And I am here to kill them. What is this? Is this right? So Sri Krishna is bringing out all the inner feelings of Arjuna. These are my people. These are my relatives. All the hidden thoughts which are there already. They must come out. They must manifest out and tackle the with. Otherwise, we will fight. But the inner problem will be there. And it will create so many personality disorders in the future. See, we can cover up all our emotions and pose as something or somebody else, act as somebody else, and can be heroes in the society. But the inner thoughts, inner scars, which are hidden inside, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, they will manifest out. And it will create so many personality disorders. Of course, social problems also. So Bhagavan is bringing out that feelings of Arjuna. For that, he parked the vehicle, the chariot, in front of Bhishma and Drona. And Arjuna never asked Krishna to stop the vehicle to see his relatives. What did Arjuna ask? Arjuna asked, let me see those who are ready to fight. That is my opponents. I want to see them. But what did Krishna say? Krishna said, you see, all are your family members. Partha, O Arjuna, Pashyetan Samavetan Kurun. You behold, all assembled here are your own family members, Kurus. Note this point. Arjuna never asked you to do that. But Sri Krishna did. Why? To bring out the inner feelings of my inners. So this is the turning point. And Bhagavan is making that. With his act and with his word. His act was, he took the chariot and parked in front of Bhishma and Drona. And his word is, O Arjuna, you look, all are your relatives. Arjuna didn't ask that, you see. Partha, Pashyedan Samavedan Kurun. This is the starting point of the troubles, which slowly develops. And in that, Arjuna is getting drowned. just like huge waves in the ocean. And Arjuna himself, without any control, he is getting drowned. And from that bottom level of despondency, Bhagavan takes Arjuna up again. So that is the drama we are going to see. So Bhagavan said, you look, all are your relatives. You want to see all of them? That is with whom you have to fight. So I am saying, all are here, ready to fight. But think, all are your relatives. Etan kurun pasya. Then Arjuna looked. What did he see? Tatra pasyasti tan partha pitru natha pita mahan acharyan matulan bhratrun putran pautran saghims tatha shashuran suhridaschaiva senayorubhayorapi tan samikhya sa kaunteya sarvan bandhun avasthitan. So we have to see what change is happening in Arjuna. And how Arjuna is getting drowned in the ocean of despondency. That we can see shloka after shloka, we can go in our next sitting. Now, if you want to ask anything, please ask.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
You said Arjuna did not ask Krishna to put the chariot in front of his relatives. In a way, Bhagavan is taking that opportunity to put a mirror in front of Arjuna and try to understand the weakness or whatever inside the real picture into his mirror. So in our real life, how can we get that kind of a mirror placement in front of us and understand our true nature? Like,
see, we must have that faculty within to observe everything. We have that. But always that ability to observe is hidden by many things. Many veils are there. Many affinities, many relations, many personalities, status, this, that, my wife, my husband, my son, my this, my that. With all these, we are covered. And therefore, this ability to observe impartially is covered. So the only way to develop it, remove those covers. For that, Bhagavan is teaching. So here, Bhagavan is putting a mirror in front of Arjuna just to see what weakness are there already inside. What qualities are there within, not compatible with that of Kshatriya nature. See, many virtues and many qualities which otherwise we will respect and worship are not fit for a warrior. So, virtues shall be decided according to the position where we are living, in which ashrama we are, the work we are doing. When we are in the force like police and military, we must have that individuality. From the perspective of a pujaka, those qualities are not acceptable. And the qualities of pujaka are not acceptable from the standpoint of a warrior. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So, what are the weaknesses? Already inside, you just see that. So to observe that, to realize that, Bhagavan is showing a mirror in front of Arjuna and asking you behold that. In the same way, in our life, in this life, we must observe ourselves. And if we cannot, we must get help from others. Many a time what happens because of this myness, this is my father, mother, wife, husband, all these affiliations, this ability is covered. So I'm remembering one incident. Some 10 or 15 years back, I was sitting with one Swamiji, a great scholar he is. We were sitting together and discussing some matters. So it was then a person came to the room and he prostrated, did pranam. Then this Swamiji is the head of an ashram, a big ashram, and also the manager of some educational institutions. This Swamiji was a manager of many educational institutions. That you must remember. So this man came and did namaskar. And with folded hands, he started speaking. I know what I am going to speak is not apt to be spoken of. It is not right to ask you. Then immediately the Swamiji shouted, "Shut up, get out." Then this man, he looked here and there. He went out. When he went out, I asked the Swamiji, "Oh Swamiji, oh Maharaj, why you didn't give a chance for him to speak? Even before he started speaking, why you asked him to get out? Why?" I asked. Then Swamiji, with all love, he said, "Oh Chidananda ji, he can speak whatever he wants. He can criticize me, he can vilify me. And I know he came to ask for a post in the school. Because there are 3-4 vacancies in the school. And so many are applying and coming with so many recommendations. So for that he came here, that I know. He can ask. I will hear with all patience. I will allow him to complete his words. I will hear. I will sit as a best listener. I can do that. But he must know, he must have that knowledge within that what he is going to say is proper. If he himself knows what he is going to speak is improper, he must not be given a chance. Even if he is shouting at me, I will hear, I will listen. I will not ask him to get out. But he must know that what he is saying is right. But in this case, this man knows what he is going to speak is not correct. It is improper. It is not proper to speak such things to a Swami. He knows that. Then why should we give a chance? That is why I asked him to get out. This was the explanation of that Swamiji. Really, it was an eye-opener. See? So, this man knew what is proper and what is not. But the minus, that is, I came here to get a chance for my daughter. Here, vacancy is there, and my daughter is qualified. He can come and ask. Of course, Swamiji will consider that. But he knows it is not proper to ask. Then why should he ask? So this is the thing. So many coverings are there. I am Swami Chidananda Puri. I am this, I am that. So many connections with so many organizations. And that personalities will hinder the observation faculty. That must not happen. So what we have to do is be truthful to our own self. Be truthful. And develop that ability to observe. Then who is sitting within, he will teach us. There is no doubt in that. So have that. That is the answer. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. Mohanji has got a question, I believe.
Pranam, Swamiji. Namaste.
Namaste.
Swamiji, Arjuna is in a situation where he's overwhelmed. We are going to see that. But my question is, Arjuna is not new to wars. He had fought so many of them before with so many people, some of them relatives even. But why at this moment he got affected by the war, or why he got into the grief and the illusion that we see at the end of the chapter 1? Why this war?
This is a very good question. Actually, Arjuna was a great warrior, and many times there were many fights with different people. Even with Parameshwara, Arjuna fought. And when he was staying as Brihandala, alone, he fought with all great warriors of Kaurava. All great Kauravas were together, and single-handed Arjuna fought with them, and all of them were forced to run away. Arjuna faced all such situations. But those were not pre-planned or predetermined. All on a sudden happened. But here, this is a situation or this scenario, it came after a proper planning. Even before coming to the battlefield, even before deciding the battle, all the Pandavas were reluctant to fight. Because they knew a war is not an answer to all problems. War will not cure anything. So they were not ready to fight. But then it was then Sri Krishna asked them again and again, are you not Kshatriyas? Are you not remembering what atrocities were done by Duryodhana and Dushasana? So many things. So in the subconscious level, it was there within Arjuna. And now, this was not an ordinary war. 7 plus 11 Akshauhinis were there. The result of war, even though it is not predictable, Arjuna knew that much disaster is going to happen. And he saw in front of him great men like Bhishma, Drona, and all. So when facing them directly, all this grief came out. All this despondency came out. And it happened so. Why it didn't happen earlier, that we cannot say. Now it happened. And it was for our benefit. We are benefiting. Only because of that we got this great teaching, Bhagavad Gita. Why it happened then? There is no answer for that. In our life, many stringent situations we will face with courage, without any change in our attitude. But at certain times, at certain situations, our balance will go. Why and how it is happening, that depends on many other factors. Many other factors. Because this is human life. This is not a prefabricated drama. This is a life. So in life, all these things are happening. When I am young, I faced a situation with courage and that much firmness. But the same situation, when it comes now I am 90 years of age or 80 years, think that. I'm not speaking about myself. The same situation which I faced then, it will create problems now. It may bring out grief. So why? That is life. That is why we have to remember this is not a prefabricated drama. This is the actual life. It happened so. When it happened, it is the duty of Bhagavan to correct it. So that he is doing. So this is the answer And we cannot explain why it happened. So many psychological, sociological, so many aspects are there which made Arjuna so many things. Why it didn't happen earlier, that we cannot say. Because he single-handedly fought with all the Kaurava warriors. That happened. So that is the answer if we frankly speak. Namaste.
Namaste, Swami.
So now we can conclude today. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.